Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Walking the Blunt Blade. We all have limits in various situations, and we need to know those limits. For those of you that don't know this lovely face, I am Oliver. Limits is probably something I should discuss more, but I have a story for you. I'll try and make it as short as possible. I've often said you can't argue with stupidity. Does you no favors. But even debating stupidity, we need to know our limits. So I saw a property the other day, a property that, I don't know, interested me. So I rang the real estate agent. Now I had him on speaker and I had other people with me. And I said, I'm interested in this property. When are the viewing times? And he gave me the viewing times. I said, well, that doesn't work for me, but I have X, Y, and Z I can dedicate. He said, oh no, X, Y, and Z doesn't work for me. I'm away. Now, because I'm a solutions-focused kind of a fellow, I said, well, that's okay. I don't need you there. Why don't you get one of your agents to just grab a key? Anyway, he was polite enough to say, yeah, I'll get back to you. So he rings me back the next day. And he says, I couldn't get hold of the key, and we've had offers on the place anyway that seemed quite reasonable. But I've got another property similar. And I said, sure. So show me that one. I said, link it to me. Anyway, he said, sure, send me your email address. So I sent him my email address. I'm not sure why, because he could have just linked it on the messages. 3 days later, I finally get an email from him, forwarded, because he obviously messed up my email address. I know it was correct. And sent me the same link to the original property I was looking at. So anyway, I rang him and said, look, mate, I don't have the time to dedicate to this. I don't have the time to help you do your job. Are you going to show us the property? And then he gets confused between the two properties. And then he tells me one of the properties has had the offer accepted, which is the property he tried to switch out. The original property I wanted to look at is still available. So I rang him on a Saturday morning. All these phone calls and useless emails came through on a Wednesday night. So again, I talked to him and I said, mate, what's going on? That's the property I originally wanted to look at. And he said, yeah, well, the open times are this. And I said, I've told you, this is what I rang you 4 days ago about. They don't work for me. To cut a long story short, it became so stupid that I've just stopped responding. This agent, I hope he's not making a lot of money. Oddly enough, he works for a real estate agency I worked for a long time ago in another life. Frightening. So my limit is this. I can only have so much of my time wasted. I can only, help people with their jobs so much. And after that, I'm done. And I think it's fruitless for us to beat a dead horse sometimes. And that's when we need to know our limits. Good morning, everybody.